So we want a little dancing.
Well, you wouldn't let me sing.
I wanted you to sing. It was the exact opposite of that.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Affection Connection. I am Ron Cole, your host, the lifeguard of love,
Oh my God, I love it.
the reverend of relationships. And with me, of course, is the woman who has kept me on the straight and narrow, or tried to, I should say, for the past 50 years. They call her a saint. I have no clue why, but Jan Kolick.
Everybody else knows why.
Yeah.
Anyway. And, of course, the man who keeps everything going, makes it all happen, the guy that puts the R in relationships, Lou Blasi.
What does that even mean?
I have no idea. It sounds good. That's all that matters. Sounding is 90% of everything.
Yes.
So this is our second show. If you haven't seen the first one, you should. I don't know why, but
No, you should. Absolutely should.
people have enjoyed it, and they've asked for more. Sick people. But they're back. And we're back. So there you go. Stop playing with the mic.
Yeah, don't.
These rookies.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, yes, if you want to join in the show, you can join us by calling in 978-659-0072. That's 978-659-0072. If you have a question or you want to comment on something that we talk about.
Only if
Feel
you have
free.
that little red live thing in your upper left-hand corner.
What?
Don't call the show if we're not live. If you're watching a replay.
No, that's not a good idea. No.
Only if you got that little live thing in the upper left-hand
Yeah,
corner.
that's not a good idea
Yep.
at all. No. And you can also...
You'll end up talking on Ghost Chronicles if you do that.
Or the doctor's show.
Oh,
Even worse.
She'll love that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure she would.
Dr. Lannon.
Wait a minute. What's her name?
Kim Lannon, Dr. Kim Lannon.
Yeah, she was. If you didn't see Ghost Chronicles Morning Edition, she was on 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. Yeah, check it out.
I fully expected her to be here today,
Really?
by the way, when we told her we were doing the show.
I doubt it.
I'm surprised she left it to us.
Are you kidding me? She was on the show for an hour last time, so it's like, that's not this show, but the Ghost Chronicles show. I mean, she suffered enough during that.
Yep.
You can also comment, right? They can comment on.
Sure.
How can they comment, Lou?
Right here in the chat, here on the live Facebook Live.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Can do that too.
As many people did last week.
They did, yes. And you can, like I said, you can call in too. So
Yep.
there you go. Affection Connection is back, and we always started off with a lovely. Here we are. Is that where?
Pillow Talk?
Am I here?
That's you there, right?
Yeah,
Very
okay.
good.
Pillow Talk. This is this wonderful book. I probably bought it from Jan. I don't know.
Now, we should start off with the disclaimer.
Oh yes, thank you.
None of us are psychologists or experts in any degree.
Although I did have a couple classes in college,
Yeah, me too. But yeah,
so
I
that
don't know if that qualifies us.
does not qualify. No.
All we are is we're experienced. That's all.
Yes.
We're just offering.
We're
our
giving our
experience.
opinion is all
Yes.
we're giving.
Our experience.
And as always, consult your doctor.
Consult somebody. Yeah,
And the show is for entertainment purposes only.
that's right.
There you go. All right, so Pillow Talk. This is a book that I gave my wife somewhere along the line. Probably put it in your Christmas stocking or something.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Do you find it at a thrift store?
It says compared price at, and it has the yellow sticker that's been blacked out.
I see.
So
Probably.
Probably. Humorous quotes on love and marriage. Now, how humorous they are, I guess, is your point of view.
Right.
So we did one last week, and we're going to do one this week. And here it is. This is, when a man steals your wife, there is no better revenge than letting him keep her. That's by Sasha Giltry.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah. Probably changed the name after you said that in the book.
True words. Yes.
So what do you think, guys? Is that a good revenge if a man steals your wife?
Yeah. You got to get past the revenge thing, though.
Why?
It's not. Yeah, I know.
Why?
I'm Sicilian too, and I'm the one saying this.
It's best served.
Oh, what did they say? That's poison that you take yourself, hoping to hurt your rival. Just move on.
Revenge is best served cold.
Yeah, I like a good revenge as much as anybody.
So the way I look
But
at
yeah,
it.
if she could be stolen, then that wasn't the relationship to be in.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So if she did it once, she certainly could do it again. So you agree?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. So that was pretty easy. That was no combating, no fighting. That was good. We all on the same page in that. So
No, but the trick is to get there. The trick is to get to that peace of mind after that happens.
what peace of mind?
The peace of mind of, okay, it's the best thing for me. If she wasn't into me and she could be stolen, then
Right.
I should be with someone else.
Right. You
All
can
the hurt and everything.
But it's
could-
a long path getting to that
you
position.
can have the bitch.
That's right. That's right.
I'm just saying.
That works.
Okay, so people have been sending in questions, which is great because we like to have something to talk about.
Yep.
And we appreciate that. And once again, you can call in 978-659-0072. So, Jan, you want to select one of those questions and give us a read?
Yes. My wife and I have been married several years. I work full time while she does not. When she cooks a good meal, does something nice around the house, or even dresses up to please me, I always thank her. However, she rarely reciprocates, and that annoys me. How can I get her to see my point of view?
So, what do you think, Jan?
Well, I think it's very important to always acknowledge and show appreciation for what the spouse does. You know, if you go out and mow the lawn, hey, it looks really nice. You know, you've fixed something that was broken, that's really nice. You know, it's really important to show appreciation for one another because it's too easy to just take advantage.
Or
of
take
one
for
another.
granted?
Thank you. That's the better word. Takes.
What do you think, Lou?
Yeah, this is a tough one. First of all, the need that you're right, Jan. Showing appreciation is often a good thing and often very good for a relationship. The need to get it, though, is a little bit, I don't know, that he's irritated. It's like this is not the primary problem in the relationship.
Well, that could be it.
Yeah,
Very good.
This is a symptom of it.
I don't think so.
No?
No, I mean, sometimes you just like, okay, so he's a full-time worker. She's not, right? She's a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what it seems.
Yeah, okay,
Right.
stay-at-home mom. So, I mean, yeah, so he's got the thing. I'm out there working my ass off, and, when I come home and I still do some stuff. So, yeah, so that's the thing. He needs love. He needs appreciation.
Yeah, I'm also a little bit uncomfortable with the gender stereotypes here. When she cooks a good meal, I thank her. It's like, okay.
So what's wrong with that? When I cook a good meal,
Nothing
Jan
really-
thanks me.
Yeah, there's nothing really wrong with it.
Yeah, so what's the gender stereotypes? She's a stay-home mom. She does the cooking, evidently. I mean, that would be her part of the bargain, her part of the contract.
Well, see that. Yeah, well, that's a gender stereotype too.
No,
right?
it isn't. If he was a stay-home dad, he would be expected to do it.
You work and you cook, right? I work and I cook.
Yeah, but that's something we do on our own because
Yeah.
we want to, not because it's part of your deal. I mean, I would think it the same way. I mean, when Jan worked in the office and I worked next door and I had my manufacturing company next door, I used to get home wicked quick. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So I would start dinner before him, but that was kind of expected. You know, I mean, I'm there first, so I'll get the meal started. So it's to me, it's not a big thing. And
Yeah.
and she's always been appreciated. She said thank you, and so I think we all want to be appreciated. We all want to be loved. So it doesn't really hurt.
That much is true. Yes.
Yeah, we don't really. It doesn't really hurt to do it, and I don't think it's anything wired deeper. It's just that he needs some appreciation, some love. That's something that he needs in his personality, and people need different things.
Yeah. Have you guys heard of the love languages, for example?
The what?
Love languages.
No,
Love
you mean
languages.
romance, like Italian and French?
No. There was a book written about love languages, and it talked about 5 of them, and I can't name all 5.
Oh, good.
But it talked about the people look for different things in a relationship. They receive love in a different way. In other words, one of them is appreciation,
Yeah.
and this guy, that's a strong love language for him. That's important to him. May not be for her.
I see what you mean. Love language. In other words, that's his.
Yeah,
In other words, he's taking that as an expression of love.
Gifts are one, acts of service are another,
Yeah.
Appreciation. I forget. I got to
Money,
try to look up the
jewelry.
5. Well,
Respect.
those are in gifts.
Respect.
But for some people, that's one of them is important, and maybe for the partner, it isn't as important. So for her, she doesn't understand the gift of that appreciation. So it's not necessarily that she's neglecting him; it's that that's not high on her priority list.
So what's he asking, Jane, on that, the final thing on that?
Who was right? No, excuse me. How can I get her to see my point of view?
Okay, so see, he's looking for that. He's trying to get, communicate with him.
Yeah.
So sit down and talk to her about it.
Yeah.
Hon, I work hard all day, and I appreciate what you do, so you should appreciate me doing. And I don't expect you to go Google over, but just say, hey, thanks. You did a good job or something like that. There's nothing wrong with that. We all expect that in work. We expect that in our life, and we expect that in thing. It means something to us. It touches us in a certain point of way. So
That is very true, because at work, you have to show the proper, respect and courtesy for other people. So when you get home, if you're tired, too bad. I mean, you can't just start being a grouch and,
Yep.
ignoring the other person.
All right, so the 5 love languages are words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch.
there you go.
So people like all of those things, but to some it's more important than others.
Yeah,
So for him, words of affirmation, for the work that he puts in, he wants to hear some appreciation for it.
Wait.
She may not be doing it. It's not because she doesn't appreciate it. It's because that's not a high priority.
Or maybe she didn't experience it because
so-
she didn't work in the workforce.
So here we go.
Sorry.
Here we go. So, no, don't be sorry. Here we go. Sit down with your partner, okay?
Yep.
Write those 5 things down and rate them from 1 to 100 on a scale, what they mean to you, how much they mean to you out of that 100. Other words, this means the least to me, this means
Yep.
the most to me, yada, yada. And then show it to each other and express to each other. And then you'll get a feel of what your partner
Yeah.
wants, and they'll get a feel of what you want.
You should have an understanding of your partner because you can be more effective in expressing.
Well, it's not easy
expressing
nowadays.
yourself. I know, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Well, communication is always tough.
All right.
Very true.
Let me see. I'll pick out one of these good. Oh, actually, Lou, we had a question last week, right?
Yes.
Why don't we get that before we
Interesting
forget?
question too. David in last week's show asked, "What are your thoughts on men understanding respect and women understanding love, and how should a compromise be reached?" He's making the case that men understand respect, women understand love. How do you bridge that gap?
So basically, we're talking love language here, right? Respect
Yeah.
and love, and respect and what was the respect?
Respect and love.
Yeah, respect and
Yeah.
love. So touch and
Well, I'll start. I think I got to go back to it again. I think it's stereotypical. I think that's a
You are
strong
such a
statement
cynic.
that all men. No, men understand love. Men want love too, and women certainly want
yeah,
respect.
but men's one and women love is different.
Sure,
Okay,
fair enough. Yep.
so that's got to be explained a little bit too. So
Well, let's say communication. If you
Yeah.
don't feel like you're getting what you would really like, just say, hon, I really would like this.
are men just they want respect and women want love?
Yeah. See, no, that's too.
It's too black and white.
too black and white. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Too
Yeah.
stereotypical.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave. I just can't agree that it's black and white like that. I think that for some
But-
people it may be.
Yeah. So let's
Yeah.
work with a couple. Let's work with the couple David's talking about, where the man wants respect and the woman wants love. I think it's about understanding what's important to your partner, and then
Right.
expressing it that way. Because again, it
So
is.
back
It's
to
like-
communication again.
Yeah, it's love languages. It's about putting across your affection in a way that the other person can more easily receive it. Like, for example, I'm not a big gift guy, unless you bring me a bottle of bourbon, that'd be great. But
Or maybe a gift certificate to Victoria's Secret, as we found out last week.
we found out last week.
Yes, you thought it was okay for men to wear panties.
Oh, no.
I remember that distinctly on the show.
Whatever floats your boat, so to speak. But for example, so a gift is not a big thing to me. In my love language, quality time is one of the important ones too. It's like my kids ask me all the time, "What do you want? What do you want for your birthday? What do you want for
Right.
Father's Day or something?" I say, "I want time.
There you go.
Come out and have dinner with me or something." That's
Oh,
important.
that's lovely, yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's not better than anything else, but it's like it just shows you
This
that
one?
some people thinks things are important. One partner may think something's very important and express themselves that way all the time, when the other partner doesn't value it quite as much as some other things.
Agreed.
Right.
So it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. All right, so we have another question.
Okay. I work in a call center in a cubicle farm. The cubicles are very small and close to each other.
Uh-oh.
The man who is in the cubicle next to me is one of the top sales reps in the company. The problem is he has terrible body odor, which I can smell in my own cubicle.
Ooh.
What can I do?
Ouch.
I would go to Human Resources.
Oh, you think they're going to take the guy who's top salesman in the country over you? Oh, you might as well kiss your job goodbye.
Well, no. You don't go to Human Resources asking for like him to be fired or anything.
Right.
You ask them to present the problem, and they present the problem anonymously. In other words, so that you don't have to. I think that's a great idea, Jane. So you
Thank
don't
you.
have to be the target of his wrath.
They don't present. How do you present the problem? Hey, by the way, you stink.
No, hey, listen. Some people in the office are talking about you sometimes have an issue with body odor. Can we clean that up a little bit? And then everybody goes on with the rest of their lives.
I don't think so. I think that's highly combative. And
I know, and it's a matter of if you work that close to somebody and they have really bad body odor, that's a toxic
so you
environment.
probably embarrass the guy. The guy quits and leaves the country, gets a better job in your competitors, and drives you out of business.
Well, you're not embarrassing the guy, especially if you have the conversation. You know, like I said, it's like some people have talked about it in the office. Can you pay a little more attention to that?
Give them a tube of really good quality deodorant.
I don't know. I guess you could. Well, you could get. I mean, you have potpourri and stuff you could put on your desk and thing, right?
That's masking the problem. If he has a
Yes,
body,
it's masking the
Okay.
problem. Yeah, but you're not hurting the guy's feeling.
well, in that
Unless you
instance,
spray him, of course, and then that would be a different story.
this is an issue of hygiene.
Okay. Do we have a call?
Plus, it's a work environment issue.
Right.
Yes, Jan's on the phone. Go ahead, Jan.
Hi. I'm sorry I'm calling in so late, but in my previous position, I have had to deal with employees with body odor, and it's important that you get them aside alone in private and
Right.
discuss it in a professional manner so that they are not embarrassed or don't withdraw or treat you negatively. It is a matter of hygiene, and it's also of importance to the people that are around them. Some of the questions I would preface it would be, do they live? Are they homeless? Do they live in a shelter? Do they have access to soap and water? Do they have access to a washing machine where they can launder their clothes? What is their daily cleansing routine? Some cultures bathe sometimes 2 and 3 times a day, but don't believe in the use of deodorants or antiperspirants. And so, that also presents a problem and, needs to be addressed.
But aren't there also people that might be obese or anything, and they have a condition that causes body odor as well?
Yeah, but
Well, sometimes, it's not necessarily just the obese. It's, because, obviously millions of obese people are scrupulously clean. It has to do with, sometimes skin touching skin, and therein, again, comes the hygiene order. May or may not initially create a smell, but they can get fungal infections if they're not cleansing, if yeast infections, and those sorts of things.
Well, it's also a health issue.
Yes, it is, absolutely. It's a hygiene and health issue. And that's how I used to try to broach it with the employee. And, I have to say, in all cases, it was well received, and, there weren't any further issues. In actuality, I had one gentleman who actually had some sort of an issue with his olfactory or smell. And he never noticed that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Had
Yeah.
a body odor.
So,
you know what? And in bringing that to his attention, he was mortified. But
Yeah.
again, in a professional manner, way, we worked through it, and it was fine.
did you ever? You weren't specific about who, for example, filed a complaint or brought the subject
yeah,
up,
I was
right?
gonna. Yeah, how do you approach this guy? Who approaches this guy? If you're
normally what would happen is an employee would go to a manager who would then come to me. And I would not divulge, because of the nature of the problem, I would not divulge, who had presented the issue, because I didn't want them to be embarrassed in front of coworkers. And when you work in a facility, that has 10 to 18,000 people, it could have been anyone. So, that was always that was something I did, protected the confidentiality of the person who came forth, both for the comfort of the employee that I was discussing it with, and for further, employee relations.
Yeah, I can't agree with that at all.
No?
No, you can't go
Seems
to...
obvious.
You cannot go. I mean, you're putting that guy in a huge position. Okay, now he knows that somebody out there thinks he stinks, and they're not ballsy enough to go up and tell him himself.
No, that's why you have human resources.
No, that's like, okay, I'm bringing it up to you over your head. I'm going to go tell human resources you stink. And
No,
I totally disagree on that.
I have to respectfully disagree with you. The employees that came forth did it after much thought and deliberation.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
And weren't sure how to approach the employee themselves. It wasn't in a report, quote unquote report type situation. It was, I think maybe there's something.
I think it's a job of a friend or an associate to talk to him. I really don't believe it should go to human resources, and that's my
Well,
opinion.
if someone is alone in the workplace and they don't have friends, and they're purely colleagues or coworkers, then who's going to tell them?
Okay.
All right, Jan, we appreciate the call. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
No, I think that's the way to go. 'Cause
I don't, and I stand that way. I think that's horrid, actually.
Because the idea really hard.
Absolutely horrid. If I were to picture yourself as the employee that gets ratted on.
Well, you're not being ratted
Of course
on.
you are being ratted on. You're going up over his head. It's going to human resources.
It's for their own
That's
benefit.
what human resources is there
Right.
for, actually.
Yeah, all right.
The individual may not know
To give you
how,
your walking papers and walk you out the door. That's what they're
They're
there
not
for.
going to fire you because of body odor. They're at least going to give you a chance to fix the
No,
problem.
but that's
so
what I
you
mean.
do.
It's the no. Well, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking with it. I think it's a horrid suggestion.
all right, now it's my turn, Ronnie.
I thought you would. You told me right off the out. Told me right off the bat that
was that
you should
domestic
go to
abuse
human
right there?
resources.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's
And
important.
it's on record too, so that's great.
It's important because it's affecting his performance at work.
No, he isn't. He's one of the top salesmen in the place. He's not performing affecting his
It
performance.
is.
Wait a second. Do you think that this guy's a salesman and obviously he's performing well?
It's a call center, so he doesn't have to be there. I mean, he doesn't have. Nobody has to
Okay,
see him,
all right.
smell him, or look at him.
But it's affecting his interaction with other peers in his group.
Maybe he doesn't care. I'm doing my job. I'm getting top grades. Why should I care what other people think? And
Because
you know
it's-
people in the workplace that are like that.
It's not fair to other people to have to withstand that stench of a person that has a health body odor
Get a
problem.
clothespin.
A what?
Clothespin. Put it on your nose. All right.
I used to work in a company, and we had people that would come over from France.
Uh-oh.
A lot of us ladies noticed that they would wear silk shirts, which, okay, fine. But we noticed that they'd wear the same silk shirt 2 days in a row.
Live over from France. What do you think? How much luggage they have?
So that
You're
was
saying
a
the
cultural.
French aren't into cosmetics the way we are?
Well, I think it's just a cultural thing. I don't think it was offensive to them or wrong. I mean, back in the 30s and 40s, people would wear a shirt a whole week probably because of the time.
Okay, here's
Times.
something that goes right along with that, okay? Because we're talking about the BO thing and the problem with other workers, and then you're talking about people from over. Okay, I work with a woman who is European. She wears a lot of sleeveless dresses and looks nice in them, except she does not shave her armpits.
Yeah.
Some of the girls think that this is awful and make fun of her, not to her face. She is such a sweet girl, and I would hate to see her get hurt. Do you have any suggestions?
Yes.
Where are you going to go? Human resources?
Yes, that's cruel
Oh my
to the
God!
girl. She doesn't understand our culture that women in America shave their armpits. So maybe a gentle talk about that would help her, because if she doesn't know, it's
From
a
human
problem.
resources.
Unless they have a nurse, if they have a company
How about
nurse.
from this woman evidently likes her, right? Why don't you take her aside, and do it that way?
Because she's concerned about doing it the right way.
And I think that's the right way. As I said in the last question, human resources, when you get called into human resources, that is not good. Anybody who working gets called into human resources, their heart goes whoop, they skips a beat. So that, to me, human resources is something up here to be feared of, not something to be a buddy.
Yeah, but human resources, by the way, in this particular case, I think you're right. I don't think
Whoa.
this is a human resources thing. But in the other case, you want to avoid, part of the job of human resources is to avoid the Hatfield and McCoys going there. And you're working next door to someone who told you, just confronted you with something, that's going to be an ongoing, the chances are it's going to be an ongoing feud.
Oh, I've had those.
And the person might get defensive and get in. Yeah, I know. Have they been fun?
I just deal with it. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Anyway, in this case, I think, I think if I were the woman, I'd go talk to her. Because you're right, it's not, it's just cultural, right?
It's a cultural
Right.
thing,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So what if this guy thinks that bathing is a cultural thing? What if growing up you only took a bath once a month?
Yeah.
Well, Lou, thank you
To me-
for your explanation. In this case, yes, maybe if the woman took her aside and gently explained that in America women shave their armpits, maybe you'd like to consider it. I can help you. I'll buy you a nice little razor and
Oh, wow.
help you with that.
What if she's married and her husband likes hairy armpits?
Well, then, yeah, but she makes the decision.
It's a
and-
cultural thing.
Yeah.
I
Right.
mean, we really, it's like asking Muslims not to wear a burqa or whatever the heck they wear. Right?
Yeah.
It's a cultural thing.
There's a difference in culture and religion, Ronnie.
But just because it's your culture, you should have the choice of adapting or not. In other words, if she feels strongly, no, this is my culture, this is what I do, I'm going to do it, that's fine. Go ahead, do it. You made the choice. But if you're not aware that you're crossing a cultural boundary in the culture that you're in, you may make the decision to
a cultural boundary.
cultural boundary.
Well, it's a kindness to her.
Yeah.
And
she's
that's
not
that's the way
aware.
it should be handled, as a kindness, not as a.
It may very well turn out that she understands that and has made the choice
Yeah.
to keep the armpit hair, in which case, go ahead, I guess.
Braid it.
But she may not understand that there's a difference in the
Put the little
cultures.
beads in it.
Enough, Ronnie.
Cornrows.
Cornrows. Yeah, there you go.
More culture. We're bringing in more cultures as we go.
Yeah, there you go. So it's important, especially nowadays.
By the way, if this show ends my career, I'm coming in. Of all the things I've done over the years.
What are you saying, though? I think this is very helpful to people.
Yeah, it's funny because I do feel the difference. I feel like in the body odor situation, that's a human resources issue.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I'm not sure it is. I think, this woman is concerned on a personal level. She knows her. I'm guessing they have a decent relationship or have some sort of
At least she
relationship.
likes it. We know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. Thank you, because I wasn't looking at it that way. So.
Yeah. I don't know why I can't.
She appreciates
She appreciates me. Yeah, thank you.
Even though it was my suggestion that human resources wasn't the place to go. She appreciates you.
Because Lou has conversations with people. You talk over me.
Yeah. You're just stubborn.
That'll be a question next week.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Can I read this one? This one right here, Ronnie?
Yeah, read whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we got to get to them eventually.
I go to church every week with my husband. There's a woman who attends our Mass who wears the skimpiest of clothes. Sometimes her dresses barely cover her butt. Should I speak to the priest about her?
That's a
Go
church,
to human resources.
church equivalent of human resources.
Right.
Exactly.
And I'd say no, because that's a judgment issue. Much as I agree that people dress unbelievably, horribly, badly in Mass nowadays, it's not up to you. As a matter of fact, we say, judge not, lest you be judged. So she has poor taste in clothing and it's skimpy.
Or what's the hockey equivalent of judge not, lest be judged?
I'll kick your ass.
No, skate your lane. This woman should just skate her lane.
Yeah, I suppose. I just kick your ass. Never mind.
Why are you so concerned about how another woman's dressed?
Because they're
Go to
women.
church,
They're women.
do your thing, and just
Well,
You know what? I think it's a great idea because at least it'll keep you awake during the mass for the guys.
I look at it as an issue of modesty. It seems like the values of people. I was born in 1950. I mean, my mother wore hats and gloves to church,
Yep.
and that was the norm. And then the Second Vatican came, and all of a sudden we didn't have to wear hats. And then I'm a member of the, hippy dippy generation, and
Says the girl who wore hot pants to
I was just going
church.
to say, Ronnie always says, "Remember, you wore hot pants." But I was young and thin, and they looked cute. But I mean, I see clothing in church, ripped jeans.
You're still cute.
I mean, skimpy stuff. We saw a girl that the pants were so short it almost looked shorter than a bathing suit.
yeah.
I don't know where their parents are, but to me that's an age thing because I was brought up with a sense of modesty. You look at the Hollywood stars; they don't dress; they just throw a
Yeah.
piece of clothing, over their shoulders, and there were no wardrobe malfunctions when I was growing up.
But you strike me as the type of person who understands that different people's travel different roads of modesty. Their definition
Right.
of modesty is a little different.
Right, exactly.
And I think, I don't know what this woman's outfit looked like, but it's like, I don't know.
Well, she was like a teenage girl, but
Yeah.
her legs were chubby, and she had any sense. She had something.
Oh, well, you see people all the time who wear things they shouldn't be wearing.
Oh, I know.
In your
Yeah.
opinion. So, but,
Yeah.
but
It
the same
is. It's
token-
all about your
yeah.
opinion. Yeah.
Right, and it is an opinion. And in church, you don't have a right to say anything, or in public, you don't
You know
have to
what? See,
like
that's the
it
difference between a woman and a guy. A guy doesn't really,
because they're all
oh,
concerned with sight.
look what that guy's wearing. Ho, ho, ho. No.
Yeah, we'll make a joke about it.
We wouldn't even joke about it, really.
Oh, we wouldn't get upset about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's a
Yeah.
thing that
You-
we watch other guys, first
You'll
of
live
all.
longer if
we
you
very
just-
seldom watch other guys.
If you live
Well,
longer
except
if you just
for
look
some
at the
people.
outfit and say, I don't know if I'd wear that, and then just
Right.
keep walking.
Yeah,
Right?
it's over and done with.
Yeah, live and let live. And you're absolutely right because you don't have a right to judge or say anything. And if the priest was concerned, he would bring it up during the
That's right.
sermon. He'd say, I would appreciate if the
Oh,
ladies.
yeah, bring it in a sermon. That's even
Our
worse.
priest did recently.
No,
Because
I don't think that's a bad idea.
Our priest did recently. I'm a lector. So once or twice a month, I go up to the altar and I do
a
one of the
lecturer.
readings. And he did make a comment about, he would appreciate if the ladies dressed more modestly.
Yeah, if
You know?
he wants a certain atmosphere around his sermon, he's got a right to say so, and
Amen.
let the chips fall where they may, right?
Amen.
Listen, you go to court these days, they're very adamant about a certain level of dress
Yep.
for
And that's
court
fine.
because that's
Yeah.
the way the judge wants to run the proceeding.
Great.
Sure.
It's fine, yeah.
Okay. All right, so give us another one there. These are
Okay.
kind of cool. Pick anyone. Just grab one. Anyone.
My husband and I have been married for 30 years. Our marriage has been good. I no longer work, so my dress is casual. If we go out, I usually don't dress up. This has become a problem between us. He loves to see me in stockings, and if I don't wear them, he puts a guilt trip on me. Before I retired, I worked in an office and always dressed up, so I feel I paid my dues and no longer have to. What are your thoughts?
Oh, that's a shot.
Yeah.
There's so much going on there.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's back to the love language, too.
See,
you
I
know.
get this the opposite way.
You get this the opposite way?
Yeah.
What is your opinion, Lou?
I always get pressure to dress up a little bit more than I do.
Yeah, so it's a reverse.
It's a reverse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
reverse role. But it's the same condition, but reversed.
Yeah.
In other words, the female, or your whatever, is your wife?
No, girlfriend,
Special.
I can't remember nowadays. I'm so confused.
partner, girlfriend, whatever the word is.
Yeah, whatever the word is.
Yeah.
Yeah, girlfriend, that works good. So you're Jan.
Jan.
Yeah, much easier. So your Jan likes to see you dressed up.
Yeah, she's more fashion conscious, more clothes conscious than I am.
Mm-hmm.
So I make an effort to, up my game a little bit. If we're going to go out to dinner or something, I'm not going in a t-shirt. By the way, in the past, I'd go t-shirt and jeans on, give a rat's ass.
So that's
but I try to dress up a little bit for her
To please her.
to accommodate her opinion about things.
That's the thing that irritates me on this one, is that it says, I paid my dues. It's like, okay, you may have paid your dues to society or whatever, but you have a husband and you want your relationship to work, and if that's what it likes, then what does it hurt to dress
Yeah.
up once in a while?
Okay, I'm the lady here. I can say this. wrestling yourself into a pair of pantyhose every morning before you get to work. You're exhausted before you get there. And the older I am, the more difficult because I'm a little bit.
Yeah, but they
plump.
have thigh highs, they have stockings, they have lots of things now that if that's what he. I mean,
Does anybody wear stockings anymore?
Yeah, they sell
Yeah.
them, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just don't see them a lot.
I see them on my Facebook page
Well,
for
a lot
some
of
stupid
ladies-
reason.
A lot of ladies don't wear stockings anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, the thing is, if you're going to make a marriage work, it's got to be a little give and take.
Yep.
You know,
Right, yeah.
and to me,
But see,
she's like, okay, I'm not giving.
but we don't have the whole equation here. In other
Oh,
words,
right,
if he,
don't.
if he
I said
takes
there's more going on.
yeah, if he takes her out for dinner, how is she going? Is she going sweatpants?
Well,
And-
she
and a
says
t-shirt?
casual. She says casual, so I don't know what casual
But
is.
sweatpants aren't. You know, if you're going out to dinner, put a little effort into
Right.
it.
But she may be doing something, dressing casual, I don't know, pantsuit or something. And the very fact that he specifically said stockings,
Because he likes her in stockings, evidently.
he wants, see, this is the problem.
Isn't this the girl he married?
Yes, this is
Okay.
the problem I have, though. He wants her to put on a show for him.
It's not put on a show for him. It's okay.
Because she may be dressed very nicely. She just doesn't have stockings and heels on, for example.
Yeah, whatever. But it's like, okay, you're going out, but you know, put a tie on. What is wrong with that? Okay,
No,
I'll put a
that's not
tie on. What are you talking about?
That's not happening. No.
Well, whatever. I mean, that's if that's. I'm talking about tit for tat.
Yeah.
If that's, you know, I mean, you know, if that to me, if Janet said, "Oh, can you put a tie on?" to please her, I would put a tie on. For instance, my hat. Okay, if I go out to eat, okay, and I'm at a table, you know, I take my hat off because she wants me to take my hat off at the table, so I do.
Yeah, but do you understand the distinction I was making here?
No, none at all.
That the fact he asks for stockings.
He likes her in stockings. That's the part you're missing.
No, I understand.
Okay,
Of course he does.
It's like, okay,
Yeah.
when you out, can you put some makeup on? So what is wrong with that? He likes to see her dressed up. He remembers the girl that he married.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to. Why wouldn't you want to keep that relationship alive? He's not asking her to wear freaking stockings around the house when they go out. Evidently, from the thing, that's all he's asking.
Yeah.
And to me, that doesn't seem a overwhelming demand. And like I said, if she can't wrestle in the pantyhose, there are thigh highs and regular stockings you can wear too. So there's many things you can do. And if it pleases him, what the hell? You know what? Maybe he'll go out of your way and please you more. So it's a tit for tat thing. A relationship is give and take. You have to work on it together. Yes, maybe he has a stocking fetish. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know.
Maybe.
But whatever. It's not like I don't say they go out every night or nothing, right? So
No, it doesn't say
no.
that.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't see the problem really. I don't think she's.
No, it's not a problem. She's got to accommodate him a little bit more.
I think so. I mean, it's like I paid my dues and I'm not doing it anymore. It's like, okay, screw you.
But if I were to find out she's dressing very nicely, she's just not putting stockings on. You know.
That's you. Maybe it's not that important to you, but maybe it's
Yeah.
important to him. Wasn't this back to the love language again we talked about earlier?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, that's my take on it. So if we all agreed on everything, it would be a boring show anyway. So there you go.
That's right.
So give us another one there.
Okay. Once a month, all the girls in my social circle get together and have a girls' night out. We usually go to a bar or club for drinks. Excuse me. Lately, they have been allowing men to buy. Excuse me. Allowing them to buy us drinks
Let
and
me get
even
that.
joining us. Okay, why don't you finish it?
You
Sorry.
gotta bring water next time, dear. Okay. Once a month, the girls in our social circle get together and have a girls' night out. We usually go to a bar or club for drinks. Lately, they have been allowing men to buy us drinks and even join us. Some of us are married, some of us are not. I am married, and I'm getting uncomfortable with the situation. If I say something, they call me a stick in the mud and say it's all harmless. How should I handle this? What's your
My
thoughts, Jan?
opinion
You're
is
a girl.
Okay, my opinion is that she is correct. She's married to accept drinks from other men. Even and
Are you just being old school or a,
could be it could be the younger girls are not married. Fine, do that when they're out with their unmarried friends. But this woman is married. Unless they are co-workers and they're on a business trip or something, that's considering the situation and everything. But no, I understand her feelings, and I would feel the same way. You know.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a skate your own lane thing. People
Just get your own way.
people are going to do their thing. You can you make a decision whether you want to be part of it or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But she goes out to girls' night out. Evidently she enjoys hanging out with the girls and having a drink, which is good. I mean, it's good
Right.
to get away and
Oh, yeah.
to do something, even if she is married with other people.
But it's escalated into them. Some of them inviting men to the tables and their table and accepting drinks and stuff. And usually there's a quid pro quo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I guess you have to judge. You have to judge how uncomfortable your partner would be with that situation.
Oh, well, she doesn't say anything about her husband, so I don't think this. But
You don't think there's a partner involved?
I don't think there's a problem about that.
Yeah.
I think it's on her part, or maybe she hasn't told her husband. I really don't know. But, I mean, she has. I don't know.
Plus, by the way,
there are single people there, so
Yeah.
that's the tough part about it.
A man can join the party. You don't have to participate to the level where it's problematic for your relationship.
Yeah.
And by the way, you get a
Right.
free drink. Take a free drink.
Yeah, but accidents happen.
Oh no, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's up to her. She should either.
Sometimes you dip your
courting problems.
toe in the water and you end up swimming.
Yep.
So it is up to her to decide whether she should stay away because it makes her feel uncomfortable.
Yep.
Because the other girls are unmarried, so
Okay. All right.
it's a choice.
We're good with that?
Yeah. How many times do we get in these situations here where people aren't necessarily wrong in this thing, but that interests conflict?
Oh, well,
Right.
well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, so
Is anyone wrong in this
so
scenario?
what was our advice to her? You say ignore it.
No, I
Skate
said
your lane, you
if
said.
if you're not comfortable, don't go.
Exactly.
Make your choice based. In other words, you're not necessarily trying to change their behavior. You're wondering whether you're going to deal with that behavior, not tolerate that behavior. Or not.
Right.
Okay. So it's either either suck it up or
Make a
leave.
decision for yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Don't try to, force them down a certain road.
Right.
Okay.
You can't change other people. You can only change
All right.
yourself.
All right. So that's our advice. It's not great advice, if I think, but
Okay. So what's your advice?
that's our advice. I said ours.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not great ours. I don't have a better solution for you. Either go or don't go, I guess is the thing.
Yep.
Can you read those, Janet, or you want me to?
Okay, I'll try one more.
Yeah. Let me see.
I'm an executive in a large office. One of my coworkers and I get along very well. She is 15 years my junior, but we share many of the same interests. We usually go out for lunch together to get away from the office for a while. My wife says this is wrong. What is your opinion? I think it's a
You
little,
worked in the office, right? So
Right.
yeah.
every day is a bit much. I mean, if you want to show appreciation to an assistant or whatever, once in a while is fine. But going every
But it
day,
doesn't say he's an underling. It could be an equal. Yeah.
he's 15 years older than her.
Yeah, but they still could be equals.
He's an executive.
She could be too.
Well, it's not a smart thing to do.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm a little uncomfortable with it too.
See,
I mean, if you were part of a group of coworkers who went out and had lunch every day, and sometimes it's just two of you, sometimes there's other people, sometimes one of you is in the group or whatever, that'd be a different thing. But just the two of you pairing off for lunch every day, I mean, it'd be one thing if, I don't know, you started the situation, if he's an executive and she works for him and they're doing some work or something, I don't know.
so,
But your partner is uncomfortable with it, so you
Right.
have to accommodate that.
So, my opinion of it, okay, is I read something, two things into that. First of all, he goes clearly to say that she's my 15, my junior. So he's saying that he's older than her. So he thinks that he doesn't, to me, it doesn't seem he looks at her as a love partner or whatever.
Right.
To me, I don't see anything wrong with it. He's told his wife, it's clearly evident. So he's not hiding anything. If that's...
But every day, I think, is what
They could be
bothers her.
close workers together. In other words, they work in the same, they could be law I mean, well, the executives, I was going to say, but they could be like partners or something, where they go out together, they get away from all the people they have to deal with, and they talk, and sometimes they talk business, sometimes they talk about interests that they have.
But how do you know the woman's intent?
Well, it's
Yeah,
up
he
to
may be
him.
leading her on.
No,
No,
she
the
may
other
be-
way around.
She may be chasing him. I
yeah.
mean, he's pointing out she's younger than me. I'm not interested in her. This is a safe situation. I've told my wife, but the intent of the woman might be different.
Maybe.
Very good.
Well, no, maybe she feels safe with him too because he's 15 years older. I mean, I have people, girls that I go out with a lot younger than me, and they feel safe with me because I'm older. I'm an old man, so like okay.
All right. So, but the bottom line is his wife has a problem with this, so he has to.
What
Yes,
does the
lean
wife
towards
say
that.
exactly?
My wife says this is wrong.
So he says it's wrong. Yeah, I guess that's something they have to talk about at least. I mean, if she's totally against it,
Could be totally innocent, but even if
Right.
she,
if she's
still
just
has a
if
problem
she's
with it-
saying if she's just saying I don't think this is right or this is thing, but if she's like totally against it, then that's a different story. But if she's just saying I don't think this is right, you know, your coworkers might talk about it or something like that. Then if she's thinking about him, then you know that's whatever. So I don't know. I would have to know a little bit more about it.
could be
tonight.
totally innocent, but again, if the wife has an issue with it, it's something you
It
have
depends
to
if the
factor
wife
in.
is really having an issue with it, or is she just sticking up for him? In other words, saying, "Okay, this could be misconstrued where people, your coworkers, or another one, they might go to human resources."
It's possible.
So, I don't know. That's the thing. But I on the most part, I don't think it's anything wrong with it. But once again, it depends what the problem is with the wife. If the wife is really against it, in other words,
Well, it's disrespectful. If she says it bothers me,
no, she doesn't say that. She asks as if it was right.
yes, but
She
would
says
you,
it's wrong. She doesn't. She's not asking anything. She says it's wrong.
Yeah.
But
no,
it's-
no. She asks, is this wrong? Right? What's the question, Jan?
yes, but you never let me finish my statement. It
It's gonna-
bothers her evidently if she says it's wrong, and it's hurting her sense of self-esteem.
You're reading.
and
You're
everything.
reading all that into it. I don't see that in that question
And
at
that's
all.
why I brought it up, because that's what I see.
Yeah, you're reading.
I mean,
think,
if my
Okay, if the guy's writing in a question to a romantic counseling,
Mm-hmm.
right? For romantic counseling,
wait a minute. Don't call us romantic counselors.
well, for lack of a better term,
Okay.
this is a relationship romantic question. So I'm guessing the nature of her objection is that way. I mean, if she was saying I don't care if you go out with her, but you know, it's going to get you in trouble in the company, he wouldn't be writing a note about it, looking for.
See, it's not clear to me. Anyways, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, unless, of course, the wife is totally against it. Then it's got to
Yeah.
be resolved.
I've got the feeling it's innocent, but she's upset, so you have to accommodate her.
thank you.
Yeah.
Janet, there's no right and wrong with this, by the way. It's just.
I
our
know.
own
I'm
opinion.
giving my opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
You give your opinion
Oh, here's a good one.
very strenuously.
I do. Exactly. My husband is a long-distance trucker and is gone for long periods of time. There are times when I am lonely and could use some company. One of our friends have made some advances to me in the past. Although I have spurned them, I am beginning to fantasize about being with him. Would it be wrong to dip into the water once in a while while my husband is away? I still love him very much. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a hot one.
She knows right from wrong. That's ridiculous. You can't be unfaithful. Well, shouldn't be unfaithful.
I know, but how do you know he's not?
Well, you don't.
That's the problem.
But two wrongs don't make a right
It's
either.
a tough
Ronnie.
relationship. It really is. Long distance
Yeah.
trucking
Yeah.
has got to be really tough
Oh,
in a
I
marriage.
understand that,
Yeah.
Ronnie. I'm just saying
She
this.
still loves him, so the relationship is decent.
Yeah, they still loves him,
He's out on the road working.
but evidently she's horny. So
He's out on the road working.
yeah, well, hopefully.
Should be sleeping with some guy behind his back.
that would
It
be
doesn't seem
the
right.
ultimate betrayal.
Yeah. Doesn't seem right to me.
I know.
Get
I
a
know.
hobby.
I just, those are such a tough relationship. I mean, I understand both their point of view. She's lonely. Maybe she doesn't have any friends. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe they don't have cable.
You don't need cable, you just need internet.
That's true nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Like I said, it's long distance relationships is so tough.
Yeah, but again, the guy's working. He shouldn't be punished for being out working.
I know.
Plus, by the way,
maybe you wouldn't mind.
I'm guessing she knew he was a long distance trucker when she married him.
Well, we don't know that. That's something you're assuming.
Something I'm assuming.
Yeah,
but
that's. I mean, it could have been happened. He could have lost his job and found this job as the only thing he could find at the time, or whatever. We don't know all the particulars. Sometimes that's a problem with these questions is we don't have all the. We
Right.
can't ask more questions.
But she's looking for absolution, and there's
Right.
nothing in here that
Yeah.
there's nothing in here that indicates I should give it.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
I agree with them that too. But it is a tough relationship, and I understand both their point of views. To be honest with you, because
Sure.
she clearly says she loves him, but she's just lonely. That's the sad part, and I can't say anymore.
Life isn't perfect.
Just have him, upgrade her internet plan and
I do a lot of FaceTime.
go from there. Yeah.
Oh, that would be bad. Telephone sex.
Hey.
Saves the marriage. Oh, wow. Did I say that on the yes, I did. Okay, moving right on from that one as fast as we can.
No, she's looking for. She knows. She knows it's wrong.
She knows
She's
it's
Right.
wrong.
looking
Yeah.
for someone to
But-
ease her guilt about it, and there's nothing in
We
there
can't-
that
we can't- we
allows me to do it.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Yeah.
The Mage a trois here is spoken.
My husband passed away 5 years ago after 30 years of marriage. We had 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls. They're all married and live away from home now. 2 years ago, I met a nice man. We get along well and have many of the same interests. He is caring and says he loves me and wants me to marry him. I feel a little guilty, but said yes. My 2 sons are all for it, but my daughters think I'm crazy. I don't know what to do. Do you have any suggestions?
Oh.
What's the age group? Do we have an age indication here?
Well,
No.
they're all married and live away from home.
Oh, the kids.
Kids are all big, grown
Yeah.
up. And how long were they married? Did they say?
30 years.
But it's
30
been
years.
5 years since he died.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's
time-
probably known him for a couple of years. I think it said on there. So, yeah.
Well, it's sad for the daughters, but I mean, their
missed-
mother has a right to move on. I mean,
Yeah.
they're married,
Yep.
and it's not like she's divorced him or ran around. As far as I'm concerned, they have to suck it up and deal with it. Unless there was a real reason that the mother didn't know. Maybe, he was a pedophile or some horrible, horrible thing. But
Yep.
it doesn't sound that way. It just sounds that they're a bit jealous.
The real
Yeah.
problem here is dealing with the daughters, not
Yeah.
because she's perfectly fine
And-
doing what she's doing.
Yeah.
There's not a problem there. She has a right to move on, and she loves the guy and wants to marry him.
But she wants a relationship with her daughters,
Yeah.
too, I assume.
Yeah.
Daddy's girls. So
Yep.
probably.
That's exactly what it is.
No,
Yeah.
but daddy's been gone for 5 years, and,
Yeah.
and they're grown up and they're mothers of their own or
They
wives of their own.
think, they think that she's replacing their dad. And that, yeah, psychologically, that's what it is. So, I feel bad. But, yeah, I absolutely agree she should marry. But how she should handle is the question.
Yeah, and we don't know.
She's really got to have. I'd invite the 2 daughters. Actually, you might even invite the whole family together without him, and sit down for dinner and discuss it. Because she already said the boys are for it. So,
Yeah.
So that gives them a little.
So bringing in that other set of opinions there and working through it. I mean, we don't know what the family dynamic is.
No,
If
we
it's
don't.
anything like my family, that would be an armed meeting. So we don't know what the dynamic of the family is. But yeah, I think it's a great idea. Get the siblings on who are for it and understand it to sit and talk about it.
Yeah.
And then at least the most you can do is show respect to the daughter's feelings. And say,
exactly.
let's work through it.
Right.
If we can work through it, let's talk about
Yeah,
it.
I
Exactly.
love you very much, and I want I want you guys to be happy too, and to be happy for me.
And I'm
as
sorry
well.
this
Yeah.
bothers you.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Acknowledging their feelings
Right,
is very
exactly.
Yeah,
important.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, another one we all agree on. That's pretty good.
Good,
We're just like
okay.
cooking here.
But you're married. You're already married. You're old enough to be married, and your mother wants to remarry.
5
What
years.
is the nature of your objection? though?
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
I don't understand.
I don't think I would ever marry again because I just don't want
mean,
to.
unless the guy's a
I just don't want to
slime ball or
break in another woman.
There wouldn't be another woman around that would let you, quote, break her in. My next door neighbor is retired and in good health. While I work long shifts, come fall and the leaves begin to fall, he refuses to rake them till spring. I always keep my yard raked, but I'm constantly dealing with his leaves blowing over my property. What should I do?
Here we got a neighbor relationship problem.
God.
I don't think there's anything you can do because it's just a battle of wills. He doesn't want to rake his leaves and he's not going to do it. And
Torch him.
Yeah. You,
Light him on fire.
if it's a big problem for you, offer to go rake the leaves.
Okay, see, that's a
I'll pay a kid to
possibility.
rake the
No,
leaves. or something.
no. That's the
No.
guy works for a living. The other guy's retired.
But
Get
if
off
he
your
doesn't
fat
wanna-
ass and rake the leaves.
He doesn't want to rake the leaves. He doesn't have to rake the leaves. It's his yard.
Fine, and get one of those freaking blowers and blow him back onto his side.
See, it's a little aggressive.
I
but
don't
yeah.
care. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I know that's what you would do.
I wouldn't put
It's a
up
little
that
aggressive.
crap.
Yeah. Put up a fence.
There you go. Lou,
Yeah.
that's the best suggestion you've had today.
Even if thank you. Even if it's a fall temporary fence, send the message. Just
Good.
put up one of those snow fences
Yeah.
up and keep the leaves from blowing into the
Good
yard.
fences make good
Good
neighbors.
fences make good neighbors.
Right. Was it walls, though, wasn't it?
No, it's good fences
Is
make
it?
good neighbors. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert Frost, was it?
I can
Yeah,
no idea.
good fences make good neighbors. That is Robert
Is
Frost.
it
Yes.
Robert Frost?
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, put up a fence. That's our suggestion.
Yeah, like I said, even a temporary one. Just put up like a little chicken netting or something. Just keep the leaves in his yard.
Jan, I got to save your voice.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Send a message.
Yeah.
But
All right.
really, can we get on with the rest of our lives, though? I mean, geez, you're worried about your neighbor's leaves.
I know, exactly. Of all the problems
But
in
if
the
they're
world-
blowing into
a
your
minute,
yard.
Wait a minute. That's another thing that
Yeah.
certain things mean important to certain. Evidently,
I
this
know.
guy likes a nice, neat yard,
Yes.
and I can understand that.
Yes,
I
I
can
can
too.
understand it too, but you can't control everything.
Okay. I have two daughters, 11 and 12. There's trouble. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and my husband works. The girls are getting to be a handful. They do not listen well. My husband comes home at night. He does not want to listen about my problems with them.
Yeah.
He also says that it's my job to deal with them.
No.
And since he works, he often repeals my punishment to them rather than dealing with it. I am at wit's end, and I don't know what to do.
See, I was on the guy's side up until he said it's your problem to deal with. Yeah. They're your daughters, for crying out loud.
And don't undermine the mother's
Oh, no,
influence.
That's a big no.
If you're
on that.
telling her it's her job and then you're undermining her, you're undoing her punishments, that's crazy.
It's
Yeah.
horrible.
That's how you get knifed in your sleep.
Right.
Or in my case, hit by a 2x4.
By a two-bed- right. I have
Not that it ever
story.
happened.
Yeah.
Relax.
But no, the father, listen, you have responsibility as a father, especially with daughters, by the way.
Yes, because it's very important how the relationship with the father is very important, especially as they grow older, how they feel about themselves, self-esteem,
And
et cetera, et
that-
cetera.
Your father was like that too, though, right? In a way, where he came home from work, he would plop his ass in the paper and didn't want to deal with anything. So that's what this
And
guy
my
is
mother
like.
did everything.
Exactly. That's what this guy wants.
Yeah.
But
I'm just
my
saying.
mother
No,
was
I'm
a saint.
Yeah, I'm not saying. Yeah, she takes after you.
And at
But
that point in a daughter's
there are
development,
some men that are like that. They
I know,
figure,
I
I work,
understand,
she stays home. Okay, I don't
that-
want to deal with it. I've had enough all day long. So
those men are wrong. But I know they exist, but they're wrong. It's at that point in a daughter's development where the father becomes more influential.
Yes, thank
because
you.
they're separating from the mother. They're
Yes.
rebelling against the mother.
Exactly.
That's why they're such a handful right now.
Thank you
So
very
that
much, yes.
Dad's got to take over at this point. But you at least have to present a unified front.
Exactly. That was so cruel of him.
I think so.
That's
Especially overrunning punishment is the thing.
I understand there are guys out there, I work all day. I don't want to deal with the family when I get home. It's your family. That's
Exactly.
You, know,
You made
do
him,
have to
kid.
deal with it.
You made him.
Exactly.
Whether you married him or appropriated him,
Yeah.
you made him.
And by the way, if you have problems with the struggles between your partner and the daughters, the mother and daughters, straighten out the daughters because the daughters shouldn't be giving the mothers that
Exactly.
much
Right.
Exactly.
that much resistance. I mean, obviously they want to separate, they want to mature, they want to become their own individuals, but you don't treat your mother with disrespect.
Exactly.
I remember when my son was young, and he got a little mouthy with Jan one time. I wasn't even in the room,
Yeah, no.
and he was sitting at the kitchen table. So I came
Both
up.
of us were, yeah.
Yeah, and I grabbed him by the collar here, pushed his chair over right onto the floor, okay? And I said, don't you ever, ever speak to your mother like that again. And he never did. Because I scared the shit out of him.
Not going to endorse the physicality of that, but yeah, good job.
Yeah. No, he didn't hurt him.
I didn't
I know,
hurt
I
him.
He didn't
understand.
slam him down or anything.
I understand, and I might have done the same thing, but I'm not going to sit here publicly and endorse it. But no, yeah,
You
that's,
wimp.
yeah, that.
Lou worries so much about his image.
Listen, you know the way things are these days.
Oh, I do know.
Say
Oh, I
one
know.
wrong thing,
Exactly.
yeah, and I'm bagging groceries at my. If they'd even take me.
That's true, too.
Yeah,
So are we pretty much run down the end here? Or
let's do one more. I want to do one more.
you want to do one more?
Yep.
You want? I'll read them, Jan.
Yes,
Just- your
please
voice
do.
is
Yeah,
crap.
I know.
I'm having fun. I want to do one more.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is an interesting one. I've been married 3 years now with no children. Okay, so newlyweds.
Mm-hmm.
Like all marriages, there are ups and downs.
No kidding.
We each have our traits that annoy each other.
Yeah.
He breathes. No.
My question is, how can you tell if something is negative enough to be concerned about it that it would impact their relationship in the future?
Yeah.
So, in other
Very
words,
interesting
they're
question.
doing something that's annoying the other person, and she wants to know how serious is that annoyance. Whoa, that's a tough one.
It's a very interesting question.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult question.
It isn't. Not knowing exactly what it is that
Right.
bothers her.
Yeah,
Good.
because you don't want to be in a position of endorsing something that should be a deal breaker. But
The only thing I can say about this is, I'm quoting Dr. Phil on this. There are deal breakers in a marriage: infidelity,
yep.
abuse, alcoholism, and I'd say gambling.
Supporting the Democrats.
Yeah. Liberal. Yeah, that's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
All you Democrats out there.
Now, I think the first step in this is understanding your aggravation with it. In other words, because people don't take their own part in the problem. And every problem you have a part of. Now, it might be 90-10, but you still play a role. And you got to understand that. So, for example, you got to understand why it annoys you. And then you delve on how bad a transgression it is.
See, I get something different out of that because at least she recognizes that they each have annoyances.
Yep.
But what she's saying, okay, we do have these annoyances, but what is the annoyance that's going to impact our relationship in the future? In other words, am I not wearing stockings?
Yeah. No, good example, actually. Yeah.
What is it that annoys my partner that I should be concerned about? Other words, we pick our battles, right? Isn't that
Right, you're
marriage?
supposed to. You should.
Isn't that marriage? You
Yeah.
pick your battles.
Sure.
You can't agree to everything
Right.
because you can't. It's not in our nature. So you have ones that are more important. I guess the idea is to try to understand what is important to each other. What is the most important
Right.
annoyances, and kind of work on those.
She asked it a different way, but what she's asking is there something here that I can't deal with? So the question comes
Is
back.
there something in the future I can't deal with? She can deal with it now because it's just annoyances now. She's saying that.
Right.
But is there something negatively enough that will impact our relationship in the future?
Among the current annoyances?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, again, you have to understand why it annoys you,
Yeah, that's the thing.
right? Yeah, That's the first. That's the first thing you have to figure out is why does this annoy me so much?
First-
And by the way, it may be legitimate. You may come up with, there's a legitimate reason why it annoys me.
Yeah. And I think, whoever wrote this, I think it's a good question.
It's a great question.
Because you really thought about it and you've recognized certain facts too, which is really important in a marriage, to recognize there's a problem. And so even though there are annoyances and you're concerned about future, because evidently you still love each other if you're concerned about the future. So it's something that you really have to sit down and talk to, even if it says, okay, it annoys me that you leave your laundry on the floor when you take a shower, to him.
Yeah.
And he says, well, it annoys me that you don't do the dishes until midnight or the next morning. So those are my things. So I'll tell you what, I will not do the dishes at midnight and get them done now, and you pick up your laundry. Over and done. Okay, we've eliminated those problems that will be there.
I read a article once, and it came down to the basic
You read,
question.
Lou?
I did.
Oh, wow.
And it came down to the basic question of what's more important, the issue of the relationship. And I think that's the way you have to look at all these
That is
annoyances.
that's
Yeah,
words of wisdom.
that's
Lou.
the way you have to look
That's
at these
two
annoyances.
good things you've said today.
Yes, but
You
if
talk
it-
about laundry on the floor. What's more important, the laundry on the floor or the relationship?
The relationship is important, but throwing your laundry on the floor is just ignorant and disrespectful.
Okay, I know it annoys Janet.
There you go.
But he doesn't do that. He would never throw
Yeah.
his clothes on the floor.
But you make the decision. You make the
Right.
decision all the time. Do I keep the relationship, or
Yes, you do.
I live with the laundry on the floor?
We've just
What's
seen-
more important, the issue of the relationship?
Haven't we seen battles over the toilet seat up and down?
Yes, but we all know that's not the battle. That's how the battle is coming out. That's the front on which it's being waged. But that's not the war. There's other stuff going
But
on.
maybe counseling, if she, you know,
Yep.
even if she went alone to
Oh,
discuss
no,
how
no,
she
no,
feels.
no. Negative.
Uh-oh.
It's a big negative on that, Roger.
Why?
No, you don't go alone to counseling, ever. You go with your partner. That is absolutely the worst thing that could possibly happen.
No, because it's exactly what I'm talking about. Learn why it annoys you so much.
Exactly.
Then you do that together.
And by the way,
This is I mean, back and forth annoyances, two annoyances for both. They have to, if they're going to go to counseling, which I don't agree with on this, by the way, folks. I think you can sit down and you can work this out yourself. You don't have to go to counseling. In fact, counselors do not know you as well as yourselves. So I'm not.
But they can be judgmental.
There are roles for counselors that are really important, but I don't think these are like major problems here that can be blown up by someone else into something that's major.
wow,
That's
a really
harsh.
biased opinion of counseling. But let's go to laundry on the floor for an example. And I don't know what annoyance she's talking about. There might be something deeper than that. Obviously, something deeper than that. But you may be triggered.
It doesn't necessarily be.
You may be triggered by the laundry on the floor because your
like to
father's
read
laundry
this.
is on the floor all the time and it disgusted you, or
Right.
you know, or your
Yeah.
brother's laundry is on
Yeah.
the floor all the time. And then once you understand that and you're aware of why you're not reacting to your husband's laundry on the floor, you're reacting to your brother's laundry on the floor, you know, from 30 years ago. And then you say, well, Jesus, is it worth it? You know, that
Yeah.
type of thing.
Nope.
You're right. Understanding things helps you cope.
But you're making a big mountain out of a molehill.
That's what you're trying to find out. Are you making a big
Right.
mountain out of a molehill?
Right.
Like, for example, my thing at my point in my life right now is peace. I just do not want conflict. I don't want it at all. Especially
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I want to go home and I just want to sit and watch Modern Family and
That's
just
right.
have some peace.
Of course, that's what Hitler said too. I want a piece of Germany, a piece of Austria, a piece of Poland.
So
a
if
piece
my
of
Jan
France.
comes up and starts talking about something on Instagram from across the country about how I they're dressed stupid, what are these stupid people doing? That's conflict to me. But what I understand is it doesn't mean the same thing to her. I'm triggered by it because I'm sensitive to it. So I can't take that out on her.
How much time we got left? Because there's a question that fits
Okay.
right in with that.
Yeah, we got time. We'll do one more.
Okay. I like to discuss politics while my husband does not.
Oh, yeah. See?
Every time I
Perfect
bring up
example.
something, he tells me not to, that he's not interested and gets mad if I continue. I think
Good.
it's rude and wrong. He thinks that we shouldn't have to listen to someone else's or to someone and wait a minute. We shouldn't have to listen to something or someone the other's not interested in. Okay, so interested in, okay. Who was right and who was wrong? Oh, there's a right and wrong.
In other words, she brings up
Politics.
she brings up New York Times, and she wants to read him a New York Times article, and he doesn't want to have anything to do with it. It's like, fine. I'm with him. You don't have to talk politics, especially if you guys disagree. Why would you just keep raking that up and, you know?
I mean, what if she didn't like sports and you talked sports all the time? It's like, okay.
Don't do it. No, you shouldn't do
Yeah.
it. Would you walk into the room and recap the Patriots practice today for her?
So,
if she's not interested?
yeah, look at it this way. If you were dating, if you were going out and date, you wouldn't talk about something that wouldn't interest the other person.
Yep.
We try not to do that, yeah, absolutely. So it's no any difference when you're married or not. You just don't bring up those subjects if it's not
Especially
interested in it.
with politics, if you
Yeah.
don't agree, it's
Oh,
okay
God,
to
yeah.
leave the subject alone.
And it's better to do that. And I agree with Ronnie because I'm guilty of that sometimes. I mean, I read something on MSN or whatever, and it gets me riled up. And, he doesn't want to hear it, which, I understand, but I get myself all worked up,
Yeah.
and then,
Well, see, that's exactly the thing he's trying to avoid.
right.
In other words, you're spending a lot of mental energy churning on this issue, and your mental energy isn't fixing anything or changing
Right.
anything. You're just burning mental energy.
Yeah, negative.
Where and I get in a situation, and I'm a political guy. Ron
Yeah,
knows
you
that,
are.
and I'm a political guy, but I don't want to get into conversations a lot because it's not going in. You and I having this conversation and arguing is not fixing anything.
Exactly.
And I've got, like I said, I'm at a point in my life where I know I have X amount of energy, and I'm very careful about where I spend it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
So we do have to wrap it up now.
Yes.
Okay. So anyways, we do have a couple other questions. We'll deal with those next month. So anyways, we want to thank everybody who's tuning in, if you're still listening.
Yes.
And
We're having fun.
Yep.
Hope you are too.
Yeah, and hopefully we help some of these people with our advice one way or another. So thank you, Janet. Thank you, Lou. And thank all our listeners. Good night.
See you next time.
Yep, see you next time.